year.
Uh-huh.
That's the 52 straight they won. My team knocked them off. They come to the gold medal tournament. We beat them.
No.
But we had to load up though. We had a couple of big boys out of college.
I bet.
Yeah, we had, and it was funny because Ernie and these guys here, these guys here could have got scholarships to any college.
Gotcha. So, all right. So, there's Ernie. So, who was everybody else in there?
Georgie Williams.
Okay.
This is Leo Huey, Reverend Huey.
Okay.
And this is Frank Cox.
Okay.
Now Cox was that's his main man.
It was Ernie's?
Oh yes, Cox. Him and Cox were like that.
Okay.
And Cox was a kind of hot-headed guy.
Okay.
And Ernie used to have to cool him down.
Yeah.
Because Cox was a guy that was very sensitive.
Okay.
And there wasn't no thing about picking on nobody because he was always the mauler.
Yep.
And he had respect for Ernie and they had respect for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got along good. But Ernie was the type of guy that he didn't ever pick on nobody.
Uh-huh.
And in your case, where they used to pick, he would be on your side.
Yeah.
He would stop them from, he's the kind of guy, try me.
Exactly.
And and he was for real. He was the guy that you could talk to him. Just like when you called me and he was still living, well, yeah, I gotta go. A buddy of mine wants to. Let's go. Yeah. That's the way he was. He didn't have no. One of the nicest guy, and this is what hurt me. I was working on the hill.
Okay.
When Ernie passed.
Yep.
And somebody called me and told me, says, "Hey, Ro, sit down." I said, "What do you mean, sit down?" He says, "Your buddy." I said, "What do you mean? Ernie died." I said, "Oh, God." I sat down. I was working. I told my inmates, "Do what you got to do. Don't bother me."
Mm-hmm.
Then I come home for lunch. My kids are crying.
Oh, jeez.
I said, "God damn, I got to get..." And my youngest boy comes and says, "Dad, why did Ernie have to die?" Oh man, you got to have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "The Lord must have needed him worse than we did." Then my other son says, "Is he playing ball up there?" I said, "I can see him running right now." And I said, "Let me get the hell out of here because I don't want to cry in front of my kids."
Yeah.
That's how much it hit me.
I bet.
So I went right back to work and I told the guy, "Go ahead, do what you got to do. Don't bother me." Oh, I had a hell of a day that day because I don't want to see nobody see me crying.
Exactly.
You're a correction officer. He'd be home in tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't travel with the guys and party after that. He'd come right down tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, and he'd hang at the green pastures. That's where he used to hang.
Exactly.
So what happened was, Ernie come home. A friend of mine says, "Let me know." I said, "Well, I'll bring him to the house."
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, you're going to bring Ernie to my house.
Oh.
I said, "You white folks don't believe nothing, do you?" We went up to the house. 2 hours, we couldn't get away. They were musicians. They played. They fed us. And I said, I said, "Ernie, I gotta go, baby." We spent 2 hours up there with him.
No
and
way.
he was just as, and they played instruments. They entertained. But I'm telling you all this because 2 years ago, my buddy called me. He said, "Ro," I said, "Yeah, man. You ain't, so I know what you."
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
All right. So, just tell me everything you know about Ernie and any vivid memories you have of him.
None of my memories are vivid because he was that strong. I sometimes I'd be sleeping. I look after and have to look twice to think you see him,
Yeah.
But he was the type of guy that he was always for the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Always defender, And but he was the type of guy that anything you wanted, he'd come to the house. What my strongest feeling was one time when they found that he was sick. He was at the house, I think a week before he was supposed to play.
Okay.
Or 2 weeks, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
My son says, I told my son's name Rock and Roll.
Yes.
So my youngest son was Rocky. So Rocky says, "Gee, Ern, how come he didn't play?" He said, "I didn't feel too good." He said, "I got to." He said, "Oh, gee, man, we wanted to see you play." And I could tell he was choking up.
Was he?
So I grabbed my 2 kids and walked to the kitchen. I said, "Yeah," I could tell that he didn't want to cry in front of the kids.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to cry in front of me, because we'd all been crying, And to see a big, strong guy like that, you could tell that the expression changed.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yeah, Rock," he says, "I wanted to play." Because we didn't know he was that sick.
Yeah.
See, this is what bothers me.
Because nobody knew.
That's what I'm saying, but they all pretend they did.
Exactly.
And I said, it was the best kept secret of all. And I got pictures of him saying that, I don't know if he acknowledged the fact. Because I got a picture somewhere where he's saying he made a statement like he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
And that's tough too, when you read about that. So anyway, he played basketball with us and against us.
Okay.
When the high school won 52 straight.
That's incredible.
Yeah, my team in the gold medal tournament, we knocked them off.
Oh my god.
And it was something, but it wasn't easy. We had to have big time guys too.
I bet. Now, who was on your team?
Well, the local boys, we had two. The guy named Kid from Horses brought this guy home from college. He was in the Air Force.
All right.
And he was the big man.
Really?
Yeah. We beat him, but we didn't. Wasn't no runaway.
Yeah.
It was very close.
I bet.
And I used to kid Ernie about it. I says, come on, Ernie, we're gonna beat you. And Ernie was the kind of guy that he hated to lose.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, he hated to lose. And but he never showed, they call a foul on him, and he'll say like, he knows that they're gonna give him the best, but he didn't have to. He earned it, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that was the amazing thing about him. And he was the kind of guy that, like I say, if he was here and I said, come on, I'm gonna go up and see one of my buddies. He'd say, what time? And he'd go, and he always had time for kids. He loved kids. And the thing about it was, he had a girlfriend in Elmira.
Okay, I bet.
They had it at Park Church. And here's some of the guys. These are some of the guys. That's the owner. That's the owner of Cleveland.
Oh, is that Art Modell?
That's Modell. This is the kid, Ferguson.
That's a big dude.
This is the kid, Ohio. He was the one that come second to Ernie.
Really?
Yeah. He was the one that would have got the Heisman. This is Lou the Toe Groza. This is the guy I don't know if you heard about in football that used to kick from the 50-yard. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Big Lou.
Oh my! I've honestly never seen pictures from the funeral.
Oh yeah.
And I know both the Senate and the House eulogized him.
Yeah.
Now, did you go to the funeral?
Oh, here? Oh yeah.
You went to the
and I'm the one who took these pictures.
Really?
I left. Yeah, this was at the neighborhood house.
Okay.
This was the day before. Now listen to this. Jim Brown was there with Ernie, and I mean let me get it before. They had the party at the neighborhood house, and Jim Brown and Ernie were there signing autographs.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Exactly.
Ernie was humble. He didn't have to be humble. He could have been, because then he could play golf. See, first thing was, they didn't put him up there as the number one player because he was a nice guy, nice colored guy.
Yeah.
Put him because of his ability.
Exactly.
Running over people.
Oh my! And I've seen like vintage footage of him running.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like Le'Veon Bell today for the Steelers.
Yeah.
He runs
Right through him. Yeah.
I was like he doesn't wait to be tackled. It's full steam ahead, and he's like, oh, if you're gonna try to tackle me. Like, I get chills even talking about it. Like, I'm dragging you.
Yeah, I'll see you later. That's right. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's incredible. So, now, what was the atmosphere at the funeral? I mean, I know...
Oh, people were crying.
People,
listen, that was the most saddest funeral I've ever been to. Because, wait a minute, I got here it is. Hold it. See, look through all that. This is outside the church.
Oh my gosh.
And Ernie's cousin, his uncle, when they were bringing the casket down to the thing, he jumped down that casket. They had to pull him away, But now this is what's it called? This the kid. He was from Cleveland. Played football with Baltimore. The end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll
tell you the name.
Is it
Mackey? John Mackey.
John Mackey. Okay, all right.
See, I had to stop and think about these guys. Now here we went down to Virginia.
Okay.
To play basketball. There's Ernie. There's John Brown. is Billy Haskins, who's former for Syracuse, who would have probably been one of the best that ever run. He's out of Binghamton, track star.
Look at the size of
Yeah,
Ernie.
yeah.
Ernie's just huge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's just Ernie's stories. You got that?
I do not.
You're discussing about how much.
You and Ernie?
No, other guy.
Okay.
Ernie signed the contract
Yes.
for $200,000
Yep. And I think his signing
for three years.
And his signing was it 25 or 15,000 for a signing bonus?
Oh, that was another thing. I don't know what.
Was it another one?
He got. But what I'm saying is the argument was a friend of mine said he didn't get that. Jim was only making 60,000 at the time. But what I'm saying,